Alright guys, this is an update. I received my Model X back from Tesla this morning. The job was completed. I did a road test. So let's do a recap of exactly what happened. So we can address some of the comments and feuds that's going on currently on the last few posts regarding my situation with this particular Model X. So initially, it's about almost 2 weeks ago now, I requested service. Upon that request, the front frunk latch was not popping up all the way. That was one of the first service. The two passenger and driver side windows, when you push it down, it would make a lot of noise going down and going back up. So that was the second thing that was there. Third thing was there's noise coming out of this area once again. So if you don't recall, one of my first couple posts about my brand new Model X at that time was there's noise coming from that Falcon door back there on the passenger side, more closer to the floorboard area. So that was in the service sheet. The other thing that was in the service sheet was the vibration coming out of the rear axle. And I'm going to go through all the problems before I give you all the solutions. So there's like a laundry list of it. Okay? So initially, those were the reasons why it went into service. Okay? So they gave me the car back, returned it, test drove it, and it was, it wasn't 100%. The vibration from the steering wheel and the rear got worsened, and what they replaced was, on the first service, they just balanced the wheels. They said, okay, well, the issue are the wheels. So they put in the rebalancings. They made me pay for the balance. And supposedly that was going to take care of the issue. They said the latches, they replaced it. I never double checked that just because I don't want to overstep anybody's toes. Okay? And I'm a very firm believer that, as a technician, you need to do a double check your work. So, excuse me, I'm currently going to supercharge because this car is going to a rental in Orlando. So before it goes to the rental, I want to cover in details what's going on. So they rebalanced all four wheels. I paid for all four wheels, but only got quoted initially for the rears. So that was another problem. So they said, well, we're going to balance the rears and I'll solve it. They end up balancing all four. I had no problem with it. I paid for it. So we drove maybe not even 10 miles out, not even 10 minutes out. And the vibration was still there. Went to the highway. This steering wheel right here was on the highway. And it was worse. It was worse. So we went back the next following day, dropped it off. I'm like, listen, if it's not a 100%, what's going on? You made me pay for the service of four-wheel balance. No problem. We got it done. Right? So they took it back in. They end up replacing the rear half shafts on the back end of the axle. So I got new rear half axles. They addressed that on the second service. I didn't double check that latch at that time. We're going to get there. But here we are. Second service. It's over. They did a realignment to do it. They refunded my payment for the balancing because, the problem was still there. It was actually worse. Okay? So, they did the whole thing again. They said it's fixed. I go about my business. Meanwhile, I'm actually going through personal issues. A close friend of mine's passed away. So between time and personal issues and being a full-time dad and a parent with 2 kids and a husband and so forth, all these things, you gotta prioritize what's important or not. So that was the case. So picked it up on the second service. The next following day, did a road trip down to Fort Lauderdale. Went down there, and next thing you know, out of nowhere, the frunk popped up. Okay, and then it popped up. I'm going 80 miles per hour. It popped up. The car safety protocols kicked in, started beeping. I did not able to record it because I was worried about my life, mainly my son's life in the back seat. So I'm like, all right, well, I would like to record it right now, but I can't. So 80 miles per hour, car went safety mode, gave me the limitation of 15, dropped down to 15 miles per hour. Semi truck blew past us. He was actually behind me. I exited. Okay, went to that gas station you saw in the last video. Made sure everything was good, my son's good, and so forth. I called Tesla service, and I said, what the hell's going on? So try to fix the front myself, maybe push it down, push it to the angles, make sure everything was lined up perfectly. And the whole panels around that front, all the plastic panels, were still loose. It was loose, it was open, it was exposed. Okay? Now, here's my frustration. Between my personal issues, right, my son's safety, and the back and forth regarding my situation with Tesla and their negligence of telling me, well, it's 100% and it's not 100%. Okay? Obviously, you heard my voice on the last video. I was frustrated. I was annoyed. And I apologize for that. I try not to curse. That's not me. So I sincerely apologize for that. I try not to do that, but sometimes the emotions and safety concerns. So, what was the solution? Well, they end up towing the vehicle after many discussions with Tesla over the phone at the service department. I was yelling at them, cursing them out, and so forth. And, they're trying to take ownership of the situation. They had it towed to their location. I took an Uber to their location to pick up a loaner. Had a deep discussion between the service manager and the lead tech. Had a discussion with that. Come to find out, there was a lot of issues on the suspension on this vehicle, which I suspected. Obviously, if you look at my bio in this YouTube channel, so I had a lot of vehicles in my past, which some of them are, was fully modified, built for track uses, drag uses, and so forth. So here, I'll tell you what happened. Spoke to the technician. They said both rear wheels had a shimmy, so they would move left and right, up and down. So it was completely loose on the hub, right? So they end up replacing that side, the knuckles, the bushings. Same thing for the front. They did the same thing. It was shimming as well. Same issues on the rear, all of them. All four wheels and all 4 tires has that vibrational shimming. So it was no lift. He moved the wheels left and right, up and down, side to side. It was, moving around. So the solution, he ended up replacing the knuckles, bushings, and the half shafts on the rear and also on the fronts. So it was a complete redo, okay? And I want to shout out to that lead tech. He knows who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention names, but he completely took ownership of the situation in behalf of his other co-workers and technicians. Shout out to the service manager. Again, I'm not going to mention names. They know who they are if they're watching this channel. Locations in Tesla, West Palm Beach. But, they own up to the problem. They were sincerely apologetic. And also, they took care of us in regards to the loaner. Obviously, you saw, they ended up upgrading me to a Plaid S. And we enjoyed that vehicle. It's actually one of my cars I would like to own one day. But, having a fleet of cars, we need to liquidate some of these things. But it is what it is. I apologize for my behavior and my outbursts. They apologize for the conditions, and they dropped the ball. They owned up to it. They said, we dropped the ball. I know it's not personally me, it's the other teams, but we're going to make it right. And I do appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that that sincerity. You know, we went to multiple test drives, made sure everything was correct. Yes, it was a mission. He even said all of these things should have been addressed on the first service, you know? And, you know, a lot of people said, oh, you should double check the work. I've owned many cars in the past. I feel if I double check someone's work, I insult them. But unfortunately, now I have to in regards to Teslas, right? Just because, you know, multiple people touches it. It's not the old saying. I'm an older person. Could be I just said that, but I believe one technician touches one car, so they know 100% of it. That's my belief. Okay, because they would know that car in and out, versus having multiple people touch that vehicle and they don't know what's what, and that's exactly what happened here. Okay, one person took over my car and got it right and got it done and got it correct. So that's something that hopefully they could implement. One person, one technician, one car. Okay? So, you know, again, standard starts from the top. I'm not trying to blame Elon. Yes, I said what I needed to say. I own it. But if you increase your standards on quality control from the very top, right, it'll trickle down all the way down to, you know, to your workforce. And I get it, the technicians are emotional. You know, you just laid off a good majority of them, and they were telling me, it's like, yeah, we're short staffed, there's a lot of discouragement going on. Yeah, I get it, you know, and I understand that. I'm a business owner myself. I understand, you know, and there's a discouragement all across Tesla. But it is what it is, man. We're gonna move on from this. We'll see the future regarding the Model X. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to keep it long term. We'll see. My original plan was to keep it, but here we are. But an unknown. Hopefully my wife will learn to trust this vehicle again, just because it put us in danger, put her son in danger. So hopefully that'll work out. But thank you for all the comments, all the concerns. Thank you for the positive comments. Thank you for the negative comments. I appreciate the positive and negatives, right? You know, sometimes I have my boredom moments too, and I'll reply, right? I'll entertain the negative comments because, hey, it is what it is. Just smile, love more, appreciate life more. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for subscribing. For those that subscribe, those that have not subscribed, like, comment, let's interact. Aside from that, you guys have a great day.